Hello and welcome to the next video. In this video I'm going to be answering the question of how did I feel coming back to China after being away so long? Well, as I mentioned before on several different videos, had been in China for 5 years, had gone to Japan for a little over a year and decided to come back to China for a variety of reasons I've talked about in another video. I might put the link in the description below. Anyhow, I remember when I got back, it was about mid-December, December 13th or 12th, 2018. My last flight in from, I believe it was Seoul, South Korea, was a late one. So unlike on prior flights when I had either gone to Japan or first gone to China or came back from either place, I actually arrived pretty late in the evening. I want to say it was probably about 10 o'clock or so. So came in during winter, so I was prepared for that because I knew how the winters were there. And I remember taking a picture on my phone from the airport and posting it up on WeChat and letting students and friends who were there know, hey, I'm back in town. And it was nice to be welcomed by a lot of people and get a lot of messages and reconnect with the students. There were some students who were still at my old training center, Web International English, who maybe when I left a couple years prior were at a very low level, and now we're kind of in an intermediate or more advanced level. So it was interesting to see, or I guess to not see the transition, to see them see them, at the X level, and then all of a sudden, oh wow, you're more fluent than I recall, or oh, you're still here, great, it's good to see familiar faces. So a lot of it consisted of just catching up. A lot of the English corners and free talks mainly, students would, that were in my class or heard about me leaving, were just curious about how my life was in Japan, why I decided to go back, how I felt coming back. So there were a lot of candid discussions, and I was honest about a lot of stuff that I liked and didn't like. And it was kind of fun getting back into the groove of teaching and the normal schedule of 5 classes a day, 5 days a week with 2 days off. Mostly not weekend days, but I've done that so long, it's just kind of second nature for me. Kids' classes were a lot easier to manage. There was more of a structure, more of a focus on teaching/learning, which I very much enjoyed. Even for the students that were not as interested in the classes or learning and maybe were put there because of parents trying to keep them busy, they were still well behaved, and I felt like I was teaching, not babysitting. So it was great. Reconnecting with some old friends who were still there was a lot of fun as well. Getting back into taking side trips with some of my expat friends there, and just talking about changes there as well as stuff I had seen in Japan, and even back in the States when I visited briefly before coming back. Those were good. I definitely noticed the air quality had improved in Tianjin more so than when I had left. There were still bad days, no doubt. Still a lot of the energy production in the country is coal-based, and there's a lot of lax standards, mostly that they set that they follow when convenient, let's say. But at least there were bluer skies more often, which was nice. Still had to wear my mask most of the time, and even during spring, but life goes on however it can. So it was a very familiar feel, very nostalgic to be back and doing something I enjoyed in an atmosphere in which was conducive to it. And certainly this same general frustrations that I had when I was first there were still there. Although some of the frustrations I had when I was living in Japan were all of them were gone. Didn't have to, met a lot of people, made a lot of friends, had a ton of acquaintances on top of those that I already knew and had from before. So it's good being kind of welcomed back. So that's how my first year back was. So I'll stop the video here and say see you in the next one.